relevant, you would have identified it, right?
Correct.
In addition to that, though, you would have identified it and you would have called Metro and say, hey, by the way, we got something there that will help you with the Tupac murder investigation. Fair?
Fair.
Okay. There's no reason why you wouldn't have done that?
Not that I know of, no.
Now, we talked a little bit about the size of some of the people that were involved here. And I think, was it DeAndre Smith you said was a pretty big guy?
Yes.
All right. And you said he was like, what, 6'2", 6'3", and about 300 pounds, something like that, big guy?
About 6'4", 300 pounds.
Okay. Did he play any sports or anything as far as you know?
I think he did, but I'm not positive what sport.
Now, are you aware of an individual by the name of Terrence Brown?
Yes.
And was Terrence Brown one of the individuals that was potentially a suspect in the Tupac murder?
Yes.
All right. Now, with regards to Terrence Brown, can you describe for us how, like, his size as well?
Yeah, he's approximately a little shorter than you, and just medium built.
So a good-looking guy. I'm sorry?
I don't know about that, but
So it's a little bit shorter than me and about my size.
right.
Okay. Let's just put it down as I'm 6'2", so that's like I'm just kidding, 5'8" and something else. And then in terms of the at the time with Terrence Brown, you are aware that Terrence Brown actually dies in what, 2015?
Yes.
Right. And when he dies, do you know how he dies?
Yes.
How did he die?
He was at a marijuana dispensary in Compton, and a robbery occurred, and he got killed during the robbery.
So, based upon the way he was murdered in that case, no indication that that was some type of retaliation for the murder of Tupac in 1996 or 7?
No.
Okay. In addition to that, in 1996, I apologize. With regards to DeAndre Smith, do you know when he passed?
2004, and he died of medical complications.
Right. And as far as you know, nothing that would have been associated with any type of retribution or revenge for the murder of Tupac Shakur.
Correct.
Now, Orlando is the one who passes away relatively quickly after the shooting.
Yes, approximately a year and a half.
Right. And in terms of how he passes, he was shot and killed?
Yes, you want me to tell you what happened?
Please.
Orlando Anderson was with his best friend Michael Duro, and they were at a burger stand in Compton. And across the street from the burger stand, there was a car wash. Orlando Anderson recognized the people at the car wash. There was 3 people sitting in the car, and he recognized one of them that owed him money for some narcotics that he didn't pay him for. So Orlando Anderson took it upon himself, and he initiated the confrontation. He drove up to the car, and he exited with a gun. However, one of the persons in the other car, they had a gun too, so they had a shootout at the car wash. And then when the smoke cleared, Orlando Anderson was killed during the shootout, as well as 2 other people in the other car were killed.
And in terms of the 2 other people in the other vehicle, were they both Crips?
Yes.
So it wasn't a blood-on Crip sort of shootout?
No.
It was just over money and drugs?
Yes.
Now, we've had some discussion here about Darnell Brim. And you're familiar with Darnell Brim?
Yes.
And the way I'm understanding this is that within the South Side Crips, you had 2 different factions.
Correct.
You had the Glencoe faction with Darnell Brim,
Yes.
and then you had the Burr Street faction.
Correct.
Now, in terms of the 2 different factions that we have here, the Burr Street faction was a faction that was dealing with the drugs, mostly?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
In terms of the Burr Street faction, that they deal in drugs.
That was one of the things that they were involved in, yes.
Yeah. And in terms of the other faction, we talked a little bit about Darnell Brim. He was a shot caller.
Correct.
And he was a violent person.
He had the potential of being a violent person, yes.
Well, you recall in your book describing him as a very violent person?
I don't recall that, but if it's in there, it's what I said.
Okay. And once again, it would have been something that if it wasn't true in your book, you would have corrected it.
Yeah, I'm not saying he wasn't a violent person.
Yeah.
He definitely has the potential to be a violent person.
And isn't it fair to say, though, like even in your book, that you describe him as being someone that was implicated in some attempt murders, that kind of thing as well?
Absolutely.
Darnell Brin.
Yes.
Now, Darnell Brin is shot in the back how many days after the shooting of Tupac Shakur?
2.
And with regards to the shooting in the back, do you know who shot him in the back?
No.
Okay.
We were told it was Piru's, though.
Right. And would that fall more into the idea of what you're saying about retaliation in this case?
Yes.
Now, there are other people that potentially were considered, I think including the initial investigation here, as being part of the Tupac murder. Do you recall a person by the name of Noel Spank Johnson?
Yes.
All right. And he is also a South Side Crip member, part of the Glencoe crew.
Correct.
All right. Do you recall a person by the name of Jerry Monk Bond?
Yes.
All right. Once again, part of the Glencoe crew.
Correct.
And then also Orlando Anderson.
Correct.
Okay. So those individuals at some point were considered to be potentially involved in the murder of Tupac Shakur, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in addition to that, when you had conducted the searches on Mr. Davis's home and the locations that we're at, did you ever find money?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
No vast sums of money for somebody making 20% of $4 million a month?
No.
How about expensive clothes, like stuff that was worth, suits worth $6,000, anything like that?
I don't recall the clothing that was inside.
Yeah, but in terms of, just information about the individual's living conditions, for instance, did you find any expensive cars that he owned or anything like that, besides the lowriders and stuff that people put a lot of work into?
Well, them are expensive cars to me, so
Yeah.
yes, we did.
And when you say lowriders, are we talking about lowriders here or BMWs?
Monte Carlos, hydraulics, all that kind of stuff.
Sure. And in terms of the Monte Carlos and the hydraulics, Mr. Davis was actually part of what they call a lowrider club in Compton?
I wasn't aware of that.
Okay. You're not aware of, let me ask this next question. But in terms of the vehicles we're talking about, they were not for, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, nothing like that. They were just modified cars.
Correct.
Now, in addition to that, going back to your book, do you have anything in here, like a disclaimer that says that, hey, we can't verify the truthfulness of the book at all?
I'm not sure.
All right. If you were just to review the book real quick, just to tell me if there is anything like that, would that help your recollection?
Honestly, I wouldn't even know where to look.
It should be in the front because it would be a big warning. You want to check it out?
No, there's nothing in there to that effect then.
Okay. And would it be... Have you ever read a guy by the name of Greg Kading's book, Murder Rap?
Some of it, yes.
Can you tell us who Greg Kading was?
He was an LAPD sergeant.
Okay. Did you have any interactions with him?
No.
Did he share in any investigation that you were involved in?
No.
Did your partner have any work with him?
Yes.
And the work that we're talking about is in the task force that was assigned to investigate the murder of Biggie Smalls.
Correct.
And he was part of, Tim Brennan was part of that along with Mr. Kading.
Correct.
All right. Now, we had shared a little bit about the swallowing up of Compton PD by the LA Sheriff's Department.
You call it swallowing up. I call it absorbed or whatever.
Right. Why was that?
Well, it would take, I could tell you in a couple of minutes, but it's really a 6-month long thing that happened, but I can explain it to you if you want.
Well, I mean, obviously there's a lot of moving parts, right?
Yes.
The absorption or dismantling of a police department is a very unusual thing, right?
Yes.
And so in order for that to happen, if I can just cut right to the chase with you, was there corruption going on within the department that caused the absorption of the department back to the sheriff's department?
No.
Okay, then what was it that caused it?
It was the mayor, Omar Bradley, at the time, was being investigated by the FBI. He found out that he was being investigated by the FBI, and he blamed our chief. Right, so what he did is he put our chief and a captain off on administrative leave, and he made some allegations of missing narcotics. Okay. Now these guys were two 30-year veterans with prestigious careers. Our department elected to do a vote of no confidence against the mayor, and this really pissed the mayor off, and he went to the city council and they voted to bring in the sheriffs, and they never asked the citizens if that's what they wanted. He just did that upon himself. Now, there was a long investigation regarding the stolen narcotics, and our two captain and chief were exonerated. There's a 60-page report on it, and it was resulted in one Hispanic narcotic officer was taken to narcotics, and he was dealt with. So the bottom line is we lost our police department, 112-year-old police department. Omar Bradley ends up getting arrested and convicted, so everybody lost here.
Yeah. And as a result of that, I think you told us earlier you didn't stay in the city of Compton, no, you got reassigned to another city?
No, I stayed in the city of Compton for a year, and then I elected to go to another agency.
I see. All right. And then while you were there, the other thing that you did, and you shared with us a bit about the fact that you were very well versed in the gang culture in Compton, right?
Correct.
And in terms of the well-versed, meaning that you can identify and see patterns of behavior that would indicate to you maybe gang activity, for instance, right?
Yes.
And that would also include how a person dresses. We talked a little about that. I apologize. Like, for instance, even like the way a person dresses in the live, right? That would help you determine maybe potentially that person's associated with a type of gang.
Yes.
Like in this case,
No.
no, all right. But with regards to the way it's set up, though, is that, did you at any point ever determine that Tupac Shakur was a member of a gang?
No,
Why not?
because he wasn't.
And when you say that, I mean, obviously he's associated with the mob, with the death row label.
Correct.
And he was also at that particular point hanging around with Suge Knight.
Correct.
And Suge Knight was an identified Mob Piru or an associate of the Mob Piru,
Correct.
as well as other people who were Mob Piru, like Mob James, for instance, that was in that association.
Yes, his entourage were all Mob Piru gang members.
Okay. But you're telling us right now that Tupac was not a gang member?
No.
Just because he was hanging around these people did not make him a gang member?
Correct.
Now, fair to say, of course, that even in the death row record label, there were actually Crips that were assigned, that were part of that label as well, right?
Yes.
That would have been Snoop Dogg.
Correct.
That would have been Dr. Dre.
I'm not sure about Dr. Dre.
How about, who's the other one that I'm thinking of? Is it Eazy?
he wasn't associated with that record label. I don't think he was.
You tell me, because I'm just I'm trying to figure it out. But fair to say, though, that within business, it wasn't about a color as much as it was about money, right? You're making money, and so you're not isolating one segment of the population from the other in terms of your product.
Correct.
Okay. Now, with regards to Mob James at that particular point, you had told us that you believed he was an OG at the
Yes.
time. Did Mob James have any indication for violence?
I never investigated him for any violence because he was in jail when I was, most of the time that I was in patrol and in the gang unit. And I don't know exactly when he got out, but when he got out, he was already older, and he didn't really hang out with the younger gangsters.
I see. And with regard to this retaliation thing we talked about, you said there was some concern that once the shots were fired and Tupac was hit, that there was concern that there was going to be some type of gang war back in Compton, right?
Yes.
Now, you shared with us a little bit how this worked. You were asleep in bed, and you get a call early morning from Reggie Wright Sr.
I don't recall if I was asleep in bed, but I was at home.
Okay. And can you tell us what time that you received the call from Reggie Wright Sr.?
I don't recall. It was a long time ago.
Okay. But would it have been still that evening or that night?
Yes.
Not the next morning or anything like
Correct.
that? And the reason why he would have called you is because he was your direct boss?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in addition to that, you had also mentioned that there were this retaliation. The shootings that occur after, you have, is it Mr. Brim's was the first shot fired between the Mob Piru and the South Side Crips? Was he the first one shot?
Darnell?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then after Darnell, who was the next person shot?
I believe it was the next day at 713 North Bradfield. I believe 2 people were shot, and that's in Piru territory.
You know if they were Piru?
They were.
They were. And do you know who shot them?
No.
All right. Now, with regards to the Darnell Brim, do you know who shot him?
No.
Now, in terms of the 2 Piru that were shot the morning after Mr. Brim, do you know how the order was given out for these people to be shot?
No.
So, no phone records, for instance, from Mr. Davis indicating that he wanted these people shot or anything like that?
Correct.
Now, after the 2 Piru were shot, what happened next?
I believe later on another person was shot at Pine and Bradfield in Mob Piru territory.
And was that person a Crip or a Blood?
The person that was shot was Piru affiliated, yes.
Okay, so 2 Pirus are shot that day, and then later on that day, another Piru affiliate was shot.
Yes.
All right, and do you know if that was an order that was given out by anybody to shoot that Piru?
No.
Okay, and then the next Piru or the next person shot after that was who?
I don't recall the name, but I believe it was 80 something South Ward Street. And
Was
that's
that-
in Crip territory?
And so that person was a Crip?
Yes.
All right, and that shot occurred when did that shooting occur?
I don't recall.
All right. And as far as you know, this is happening over the course of maybe, there was 10 days. I think that was how it was framed. It was like it's a 10-day war in Compton.
Yes.
But fair to say it may have been a little bit longer, like maybe 13 days, right?
No.
Okay, let's say this. So if we go with 10 days in this, any proof at all that we can show this jury that Mr. Davis ordered any of the shootings to occur in this case?
No.
Now, in addition to that, the idea here behind the shootings, we go back to the Lakewood Mall incident, right?
Sure.
Is the Lakewood Mall incident, in your mind, the sort of the definitive act in which the war is now declared between the, Mob Piru and the South Side Crips?
That was the first incident that sparked this whole back and forth thing. Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. Did it really happen?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in your book, you identify it as happening at the Lakewood Mall,
Yes.
and it happened in a Foot Locker.
Yes.
Now, do you have any indication at all of a police report or a call for 911 to the area on a fight that occurs at the Lakewood Mall that day? No.
No.
Do you have indication at all from the security people at the mall where they would have written up a report that said, hey, we had an altercation here at the Lakewood Mall?
I don't think a report was generated by the security officers, no.
Okay. Now, fair to say, of course, there's been some description of that brawl being the kind of brawl that actually required Foot Locker to redo their entire inside because it just destroyed the inside. You recall anything like that?
I never heard anything like that. I just know there was a fight at the Foot Locker.
Right. You heard there was a fight, but you never made any effort, for instance, and it's not your job because it's Lakewood, right?
Correct.
But in essence, no verification that even Foot Locker was contacted to say, hey, did a fight break out over here on this particular day? Nothing like that.
Don't recall.
So in essence, what we have right now is what you had heard from people on the street as to what happened at this Lakewood Mall incident, right?
Yes.
Now, some people, I would assume, thought that the shooting of Tupac was in retaliation, or maybe the fight of Tupac in Orlando was in retaliation to what happened at Lakewood Mall. But as you're sitting there right now, you don't have any actual proof of the Lakewood Mall incident actually occurred.
No.
Okay.
Just,
Yeah. Now, in addition to that, we had heard from you a little bit about, I'm sorry, I just have to make sure I got all my notes here. We talked a little bit about your identifying of a shot caller, right? Now, a shot caller is somebody who basically tells people what to do.
yes.
And you had said that the shot caller is somebody that if an order is given to one of the other lower people on the totem pole, they have to follow that order.
Correct.
All right. And in this particular regard, you don't know, for instance, what happened in Las Vegas, who did anything in terms of a shot call or anything like that, right?
I don't understand the question.
Meaning you don't have any proof for us today that says that, first of all, even if Keffe D was in Las Vegas, right? You don't have any proof of that.
His own admission. I mean,
Besides the admission, you don't have any actual physical evidence that supports that, right?
correct.
And then in terms of his admission, did you ever verify what he was telling people to see what he was saying was true?
As far as what?
Being in Las Vegas.
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So in terms of the information that was given, you're just saying that because Mr. Davis was a drug dealer and maybe had provided money for the South Side Crips or something like that, that because of that, he is a leader in the South Side Crips.
Well, there's more to it than that.
Sure. But I just want to make sure I'm clear about something here. In terms of your investigation in this case, did Keffe D ever order a hit on anybody before or after the shooting of Tupac Shakur?
Not that I know of.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
All right. Redirect by Mr. Paul.
Yes, I'm going to start where Mr. Sanft left off. So, Mr. Sanft asked you if you had any proof that Mr. Davis was in Las Vegas at the time of the Tupac Shakur murder. And your response was, his admission. Is that fair to say?
Right.
Now, you have investigated hundreds of homicides. Is that right?
Correct.
Have you ever relied on a defendant's or suspect's admission to form a case?
Yes, sir.
In fact, in gang cases in particular, where witnesses are scared to come out, is a defendant's admission of committing a murder powerful evidence used to prosecute.
Yeah, that's how basically that's how most of our gang crimes get solved, is by self-admission or incrimination.
Okay, and then Mr. Sanft asked you about, you don't know that whether or not Mr. Davis ordered the hit. And to be fair, you weren't in the Cadillac, were you?
No.
Okay. But let's go through Mr. Sanft's logic. You had said that Mr. Davis was a shot caller within the South Side Crips. Is that fair?
Yes.
And then let me pose this to you. If using Mr. Davis's admissions, if Mr. Brown, Terrence Brown, DeAndre Smith, and Orlando Anderson, and Mr. Davis are in a car, who is the leader in that car?
Mr. Davis.
Who is the shot caller in that car?
Mr. Davis.
And so if a shot is coming, if those four people are in a car, and shots are coming out of that, who has to give the authorization?
Mr. Davis.
Okay. So if Mr. Davis is in the Cadillac, he's the one calling that shot.
Absolutely. If he tells them not to do it, say, let's handle this back in Compton, they wouldn't have had a shooting. If he sanctioned it, then there'd be a shooting.
And Mr. Orlando Anderson, he was what you had called a gangster, right?
Absolutely.
So he would be the person that would have to listen to Mr. Davis.
Yes.
And so was it in your experience, knowing the roles of everybody in that vehicle, could Mr. Anderson shoot that gun with Mr. Davis in the car without Mr. Davis's permission?
No.
Now let's talk about your book. When was your book published?
2017.
Okay, so that would be well after Mr. Davis's proffer statement, correct?
Correct.
Be well after his 2009 statement to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department?
Correct.
And it might be contemporaneous, we don't know, to the time of his statement to the death row office.
Correct.
Regarding the, I want to talk a little bit about the LA Sheriff's Office absorbing the Compton Police Department. Is it fair to say that a function of that transfer was that some of the evidence that was retained from those search warrants just were, for lack of a better term, lost?
Yes. I mean, I didn't know it at the time. I mean, we just switched police departments, and they absorbed us, and they kind of were responsible for all the evidence, too. So I don't know what happened to it after we got absorbed by the Sheriff's Department.
Mr. Sanft mentioned Reggie Wright Sr. to you. Did Reggie Wright Sr. ever ask you to work on behalf of the Mob Pirus?
No.
Did you ever work on behalf of the Mob Pirus?
Never.
Okay. Talking about the Burris Street faction, Mr. Sanft mentioned that Mr. Sanft asked you some questions about Southsiders. Darnell Brim was actually in conflict with the Burris Street crew. Is that fair?
Yes.
But Michael Giroux was a member of the South Side Compton Crips, the Burris Street crew. Is that fair?
Yes.
I think he went by a Little Owl. Is that right?
That is correct.
Were you aware that the court actually has taken judicial notice of the fact that Little Owl was actually in custody during the September 7th, 1996 murder of Tupac Shakur?
That is correct.
Kind of hard for him to be the person responsible for the murder of Tupac
Yeah.
Shakur. Okay. Now, Orlando Anderson, he was also a member of the Burris Street crew. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And we talked about before, Corey Edwards was a member of the South Side Compton Crips, Burris Street crew. Is that
Yes.
Conceal custodies.
Read cross, Mr. Sanft.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll do a clean copy before you, a little bit.
I don't have that.
No.
Just a couple things, sir. In terms of the publication of your book, can you tell us, you said that was accurate, right?
Yes, tried to be.
I'm sorry?
I tried to be.
No, and it's fine. I'm not, we're not really going to knock it. I just want to know that at some point in here, you do identify Mr. Davis as Keffe D, correct?
Yes.
Do you recall the spelling of his name in the book?
No.
Do you recall how you spelt his name?
No.
Would review of your book help you in terms of how you spelt his name in the book?
Sure.
Okay. Let me make sure I got it here. You want me to approach?
You may.
Okay.
Okay. And just for the record, how did you spell his name in the book?
Keefe.
Right. And do you have any reason to doubt the accuracy of your spelling of his name?
I could be misspelled. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, but in terms of, for instance, I would imagine during the time period that that's not a usual name, Keefe.
No.
And you would have learned that that name Keefe was more of a nickname.
Correct.
It wasn't his birth name, for instance.
Correct.
And in terms of that name itself, you would have had, like, say, for instance, field interview cards. If you ever ran across individuals, you would put their names down and maybe their monikers or their street names or their nicknames, for instance.
Correct.
Did you ever fill out a field interview card for Mr. Davis?
I don't think I ever did. No.
Yeah. And once again, these field interview cards that you would have used are cards that would help law enforcement identify people that potentially are gang affiliated.
Yes, it does help. Yes.
Yeah. And what usually would happen, I would assume, is that when you happen upon someone that you're speaking to and you identify him to be maybe a member of a gang, you would write out information about him, including his nickname and so forth, on a card that would help other law enforcement know whether or not they're affiliated with a gang or not.
Correct.
So in this particular regard, though, you being the detective for the gang unit in Compton, which according to your book was actually very small. At some point it starts out with you and Tim as being the main gang detectives on in Compton.
Yes.
And so you had a lot of people to go through, but even then you don't recall ever filling out a field interview card identifying him as a gang member.
No, but he self-admitted it to me. I mean, we go out there. That's all. I see the same people every day because Compton's such a small city. So every time I saw someone, if I stopped and filled out a field card, that's all I'd be doing. So I talked to these guys, and they self-admitted to me. They tell me their nicknames.
Yeah.
So
And
that's what happened with Mr. Davis and I.
And fair to say, once again, this is a form of keeping records, right? Is that if you ever have a police officer who's not with your same knowledge and experience on those streets, they could look at those field interview cards to help them determine who Mr. Davis is, right?
That's correct.
No further questions, John.
Any redirect?
Yes, sir.
We redirect, actually.
With regards to Mr. Davis, did he ever hide the fact that he was a member of the South Side Compton Crips?
No.
Was he actually quite open and proud of the fact that he was a member of the South Side Compton Crips?
Yes.
Objection to that speculation and description.
Okay, I'll actually rephrase.
Okay,
Did
so
Mr. Davis evince behavior that made you believe that Mr. Davis was proud of being a member of the South Side Compton Crips?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, did he ever hide being a member of South Side Compton Crips?
No, whenever I would see Mr. Davis, he'd always be in the company of other Southside Crips too.
And did he ever self-identify as a member of South Side Compton?
Yes.
Is that it for you, Mr. Poole?
Yes.
Anything else, Mr. Sanft?
No, no.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, any questions for this witness? Okay, we have a few. All right, a couple questions. You got a lot of questions. Okay. Why is Tupac not seen as a Mob Piru while in company of other members, but Mr. Davis is?
Well, there's nothing that documented Tupac as a Piru. Now, he associated with them, but he didn't live their lifestyle. He was a rapper. He did show some allegiance to the Mob Piru. However, he wasn't active. He wasn't out in the streets gang banging or whatever. He was this rap mogul, and I think he liked that lifestyle.
Okay. From what you have observed regarding Reggie Wright Jr., would he have been considered affiliated or in connection with Mob Piru or any other gangs?
No. Reggie was the head of security for Death Row Records. He was actively employed, and the difference is the entourage, they were paid by Suge Knight, but they played a different role. Reggie could carry a firearm like the rest of the people that he employed, but the entourage, not saying they didn't carry firearms, but they couldn't do it legally. So there's a big difference there.
Is it fair to assume there wouldn't need to be orders from Mr. Davis for members of the Crips to carry out retaliatory shootings, considering there was an active war between Mob Piru and the South Side following the shooting of Tupac? In other words, is the order implied even if the shot caller does not explicitly say shoot?
Yes, if the shot caller's not there, then gang members are going to do what they do. If they're going to go out hunting, they're going to go out and shoot, even though it might not be sanctioned by a shot caller. But if he's present, they're most likely they're going to do what Mr. Davis tells them to do. But if he's not present, then they're going to do what they do.
Did Orlando get permission to have that shootout at the car wash, seeing that he was a gangster and not an OG?
No, it's like I said, Mr. Davis wasn't there. These guys are gangsters, and when they confront somebody, I mean, it's on. It's going to be on. He doesn't need to be sanctioned by Mr. Davis. Now, if he does something wrong and when he gets back, he brings heat on the neighborhood or whatever for doing something stupid, then he'll be disciplined for it. But when they're out in the street gangbanging, it's a whole different story because Mr. Davis is not present.
Did the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department ask Compton PD to help them with the murder investigations at the time that Compton searched homes on both sides, or was that something you took your own initiative?
We took the initiative to ask them to come down, and once they were down here, they never asked us for help.
Okay. Any follow-up based on that, Mr. Palal?
Yes, Your Honor. With regards to the distinction of whether Mr. Shakur or Mr. Wright were gang members, is it fair to say that you don't become a gang member by hanging around other gang members?
That's correct.
Like you had mentioned earlier that you had to put in some work in order to become a gang member.
Yeah, you have to live that life in order to be considered Mob Piru.
And with regards to putting in work, what are some activities that one does? Not specific to mob or the South Side, but just in the gang culture. What type of work do you have to put in order to be considered actually a gang member as opposed to a guy who hangs around gang members?
You're going to be out there being active, doing drive-by shootings, getting in fight with other gang members, carjacking, anything that's going to get you some respect within the gang. They're going to be out there doing it.
So you had mentioned acts of violence, primarily shooting. Is that
Yes.
fair? In fact, that's how you had mentioned how Orlando Anderson got put on is by being part of a group that shot at you. Is that fair?
That's correct.
And then you would also, with being part of the narcotics trade, and I guess that's too of a lawyerly word to say, selling drugs, is that one of the ways that you get considered putting in work to become a member of a gang?
Yes.
And as long as that money is going towards the gang.
Yes, because money made from the sale of narcotics is the lifeline of every gang in Compton. So the money that they get from selling narcotics, of course they buy more drugs, they buy more weapons, but most of these guys don't work. So the money made from the sales of narcotics, they buy cars, they pay their rent, everything that they do is generated from the sale of narcotics, the money made from that.
And so while Mr. Shakur or Mr. Wright Jr. may have been around the Mob Piru, is there anything to suggest that they were putting in work to become members of the Mob Piru?
Definitely not.
And let's contrast that with Mr. Davis. Was it, in your observation, training, and experience with Mr. Davis, engaged in the narcotic sale for the purpose of benefiting the South Side Compton Crips?
Absolutely.
So that's the witness.
Okay. Any questions based on the juror questions, Mr. Sanft?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here. You are excused.
Thank you.
Last witness for the day.
Yes.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our last witness for today. We are going to recess for the evening. During this recess, you are admonished not to talk or converse amongst yourselves or with anyone else on any subject connected to the trial, or read, watch, or listen to any report or commentary on the trial of any person connected with this case by any medium of information, including without limitation, newspaper, television, internet, and radio, or form or express any opinion on any subject connected with the trial until the case is submitted to you. We'll see you guys back here at 1 p.m. For further presentation of evidence. Please rise to the jury. For the record, the jury has exited the room. Anything we need to address outside the presence?
Nothing in this.
Well, one thing. Mr. Sanft asked if we could admit the entire 180-page return from the search warrant. We had no objection to that, and so we will bring a clean copy from Mr. Sanft
Okay.
to put in tomorrow. Also, we still need to correct the 2017, the 717 transcript and audio. I'll have that brought forward tomorrow.
What exhibit will the return be?
I have no idea.
Will it be a defense or state?
It's the defense.
Defense next in line, so that would be
WW.
WW. Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
On record in State versus Davis, C-377-407. Anything we need to address before bringing in the jury? State?
Not from the state.
No.
Defense? Okay, perfect. I think he's lining up the jury, so we'll bring them in as soon as they're ready.
Saul.
So the party stipulates the presence of the jury.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You may be seated. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Always good to see you. We are still in the state's case in chief. See, who is your next witness going to be?
Your Honor, it's going to be Malcolm Greenidge. I believe he's just cleared due.
Okay. We'll bring Mr. Greenidge in as soon as he makes it up the elevator. There we go.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Absolutely.
You may be seated. May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
First name Malcolm, MALCOLMGREENIDGE. That's my last name.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Greenidge. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Paul, you may proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Greenidge.
Good morning.
Sir, is it fair to say that you were initially resistant to attending court?
That is fair.
And in fact, we had to get a compelling order to get you to come here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And so you're here because a court in California ordered you to come here.
Yes.
Okay. I want to ask you about somebody by the name of Tupac Shakur. Did you know Mr. Shakur?
I did.
How did you know him?
He was a a childhood friend, a family member, big brother, mentor. The list goes on and on.
Is it also fair to say that you guys work professionally together?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
I had a dream to be a rapper. Mr. Shakur saw something in me, and he agreed to, help me make that dream come true. So I was in a group called Outlaws.
And is it fair to say that the Outlaws produced a number of CDs with Mr. Shakur and outside of Mr. Shakur as well?
We did release an album with Mr. Shakur.
I'm going to direct your attention to the weekend of September 1996, specifically September 7th of 1996. Did you come out here to Las Vegas?
Yes, we did.
Why?
It was a Mike Tyson fight out here that we were supposed to attend, and then there was a party performance afterwards.
What vehicle did you come here in?
We came here in the Lexus. It was Kadada Jones's car.
And who was Kadada Jones to Tupac Shakur at
She
that
was
time?
Tupac's fiance at the time.
Did Tupac drive in with you, or did he drive
He
separately?
did. He drove with us.
In the same vehicle?
Yes.
Where were you staying?
Where did we stay?
Yeah.
In Las Vegas?
Yeah.
We stayed at the Luxor.
And did any other members of your rap group, the Outlaws, come as well?
Absolutely, yes.
Who came?
Two more of my childhood friends, Raphael Fuller and Katari Cox.
Did you end up going to the fight?
No.
Why?
Well, during that day, Tupac was gambling, enjoying Vegas. He made some money when we got back to the hotel. He said, we're going to go change. I'm going to call y'all when I'm ready. And we're going to go to the fight. And we never got that phone call.
So you ended up staying at the Luxor.
No.
What did you end up doing?
We ended up trying to meet up with Mr. Shakur. We knew where the fight was at, obviously. So when we didn't get the phone call, we just left to go, get with him.
Now, there's a video, which I'm sure you're familiar with, of the incident between Mr. Shakur and other members of his group that were at the fight and somebody by the name of Orlando Anderson. Were you there during any of that?
No.
Did you at some point leave the MGM and go back to the Luxor?
Yes. We never really made it into the MGM. As we were approaching the MGM, Tupac and Suge was coming out.
So, and then did you leave with Tupac and Suge and everybody that was leaving the MGM?
Correct.
Now, you had mentioned a concert or performance that was supposed to happen later that night. Was that at Club 662?
Yes,
At some point, do you leave to go to Club 662?
we do.
What vehicle did you go to Club 662 in?
The same car I drove to Vegas in.
And that was that Lexus?
Correct.
Was Tupac in the car with you then?
No.
What car was Tupac in?
Tupac was riding in the car with Suge Knight.
And who was Suge Knight to you? How did you know who Suge was?
He was the CEO of the label that Tupac Shakur was signed to.
And was that Death Row Records?
Correct.
Was there? Were you aware of there being more than two cars? Were there a number of cars headed towards Club 662?
There was a caravan of cars. How many? I don't know.
And position-wise, where were you relative to Mr. Shakur and Mr. Knight's car?
Right behind them.
Now, I'm going to take you to the shooting. While you're stopped at the lights on Flamingo and Koval, does something happen?
Yes.
Do you notice a vehicle pull up next to Mr. Shakur and Mr. Knight's vehicle?
But yeah.
Can you tell us what you see?
We were at a light. Mr. Shakur and Suge Knight was talking to some young ladies. We couldn't hear what they was talking about. When those young ladies pulled off, another car pulled up and started shooting at Mr. Shakur and Mr. Knight.
And do you recall what kind of car that was?
It was a light-colored white Cadillac.
And do you recall, was it a two-door or four-door?
It was a four-door.
And when you saw the shooting, did somebody get out of the car and start shooting, or were they shooting from inside the vehicle?
The shots came from inside the vehicle.
And was it from the front or back seat?
It was from the back seat.
And did you see the arm or the gun or anything like that?
The arm and the gun attached to that arm.
And were you able to make an assessment of whether the person whose arm was out was white, Asian, Hispanic, or African American in terms
From my
of...
vantage point, they appeared to be African American.
What's your reaction when you see the shots?
I'm horrified.
And I'm sorry, I don't think I asked this question. Who was in the Lexus with you at that point?
Security, Frank Alexander, Yafeo Fula, and Katari Cox.
So, two of the fellow members of the Outlaws, and then a security guard named Frank Alexander.
Right.
What do you guys do in the immediate aftermath of the shooting?
We started to get out of the car to go check on Tupac. And, yeah, that's what we did.
Do all of you make it to Mr. Shakur, Mr. Knight's car?
No.
Does anybody make it to Mr. Shakur, Mr. Knight's car? What happens?
Suge pulled off, made a U-turn.
Or do you guys follow them, or do you drive off someplace else?
No, we followed them.
And that's why do you guys have to make a U-turn to follow them? Does Mr. Knight's car stop ultimately at an intersection?
It does.
What happened? Are you following him to that intersection?
We were.
What happens when you stop at that intersection?
We get out of the car to go check on Tupac.
And are you able to make it to Tupac's vehicle?
No.
Why not?
When we approached the car, Mr. Shakur said to me, get on the ground, they're going to shoot you. And when I turned around, there was a shotgun in my face.
And who was holding the shotgun?
Police officer.
So what do you do?
I got on the ground.
Were you able to observe any of the injuries to Mr. Shakur at that time?
I could not see the injuries to Mr. Shakur.
Were you able to see any of the injuries to Mr. Knight?
His head appeared to be bleeding.
And how is it that you were able to see Mr. Knight's injuries?
Because he was out of the car asking for help for Tupac.
So then you're at basically the wrong end of a shotgun from a police officer and on the ground. How long are you in that situation for?
It seemed like forever.
Are you able to observe the events that are going around you?
I can hear.
And what do you see? Does medical ultimately arrive to help Mr. Shakur, Mr. Knight? And are they transported away from the scene?
Correct.
And then at some point, are you asked by police officers to give a statement?
I am.
And do you give a statement?
I do.
And do you, it's fair to say, or is it fair to say, that you weren't able to see the faces of the people in the Cadillac?
That's correct.
And so you couldn't identify who was there, who was in the car?
Silhouettes.
Okay. I'm gonna, Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
I'm gonna show you what's been previously admitted as grand jury exhibit number 150. Do you recognize any of the folks in this picture?
I recognize two of them.
Okay, and there's a mouse there right next to you. Don't click on it, but if you can drag it to the people you recognize and tell us who they are.
That's me. That's Katari Cox.
And Katari Cox was one of the other artists who was part of your...
Correct.
One thing that that's come up You've obviously, in the 30 years of losing your friend and family member, Mr. Shakur, I'm sure you've been exposed to a lot of the rumors or innuendo associated with his passing. Is that fair to say?
I've heard it all.
Okay. One of the things is that Mr. Shakur was upset with the situation at death row. Have you heard that? And was Mr. Shakur somebody that you had spent a lot of time with professionally and personally?
Correct.
Was he somebody that would tell you what his plans were and whether or not he was upset with his current situation?
He shared a lot.
Did he share with you what his plans were, professional plans were, proceeding from the release of the Machiavelli album?
He wanted to get his label started, Machiavelli Records. He wanted to put out the Outlaws album that we was working on. It was supposed to be distributed by Death Row Records. And he was in talks with Quincy Jones to do some business with Quincy.
So Mr. Shakur's plan was to imprint his own record company, but have it distributed by Death Row Records.
That's what he told us.
Seal passes.
Cross-examination, Mr. Sanft.
Mr. Greenwich, thank you for being here today. Just with regards to the last thing the state had asked you, the work that Mr. Shakur was going to do with Quincy Jones, that involve Death Row Records?
No.
So it was work that he was going to do on his own, like maybe movies and a few other things with Quincy Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, and that's only just for the record. Now, in terms of the Death Row label, do you know whatever happened with that label? The business itself?
I think it's still going to this day.
And in terms of the label, do you know who's currently on it?
Do I know who's currently on it?
Yes, sir.
I do.
At the time of when Tupac was killed, who was on the label at that particular point?
It was a lot of artists.
Well, give us the ones that you...
Snoop Dogg, The Dog Pound, Lady of Rage, Tupac, MC Hammer.
So, for instance, with Snoop Dogg, did he at some point, is he still currently on the label as far as you know?
Is he currently on the label?
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure what label Snoop Dogg is on.
Okay. And I'm sure MC Hammer hasn't made any albums lately, right?
That I cannot say yes or no to it either. I don't pay that much attention.
Now, so your testimony here today is that you drove into town with Tupac, Tupac's fiance, and somebody else in a Lexus. Is that a yes?
That's correct.
And that would have been, what day was that exactly? The day of the fight, the day before?
That was the day of the fight.
So, so you arrived into Las Vegas with the morning of Saturday? The fight's on Saturday?
It was late afternoon.
Okay. And the intention was that you all, including Mr. Shakur, would be staying at the Luxor?
That's correct.
Now, you're not at the fight, and at some point you're notified by somebody that you're going to get picked up by people to leave the Luxor. Is that how it worked?
No.
Okay, can you please explain that for me again, please?
We just left the hotel once we knew Mr. Shakur had left.
I see. And so you left the hotel, meaning you left in the Lexus?
No. We
Well, how
left
did
on
you-
foot.
You left on foot. Now, when you left on foot from the Luxor, was that after the fight?
I don't know if the fight was over or not. We don't know if the fight is over or not. We're just on our way
And
to
where?
meet with Mr. Shakur
Okay, and where did you go to meet with Mr. Shakur?
at the MGM where the fight was.
Okay, and did you arrive at the MGM at some point?
Yes, we did.
Did you meet up with Mr. Shakur at the MGM?
Mr. Shakur and Mr. Knight were coming out as we were going in.
Okay. And when you say coming out, we're talking about coming out of the property itself.
Correct.
So, and when that happened, what did you do next?
We turned around and started going back the other way, back to the Luxor.
All right, so you all returned back to the Luxor.
Correct.
And was there a plan at that particular point to do anything?
Get dressed.
And what was the purpose of getting dressed?
Mr. Shakur had a performance to do that night.
I see. And do you know where the performance was?
It was at Club 662.
Okay. And do you know where the location of Club 62 is?
I do not.
All right. So everyone got dressed in their separate rooms? Yes?
Correct.
And then you came back down and you were picked up by somebody, or did you just drive your own vehicle?
We were in a Lexus that was belonged to Kadada Jones. Tupac Shakur and Suge was in Suge's car.
All right. And you said there was a caravan of vehicles. I think the question was asked, do you know how many vehicles was in that caravan that came through the Luxor?
I do not.
All right. But in terms of where you were in relation to Suge's vehicle, how many vehicles back were you from Suge's vehicle?
We were directly behind him.
I see. And then when you leave the Luxor, where did you go next?
We went to go head to Club 662. That was what I was told where we were going.
Okay. But did you eventually end up over at Suge's residence? Suge's
Yeah.
residence? Okay. So even though you said, okay, we're going to go to Club 662, ultimately, you actually went to Suge's residence first.
Correct.
All right. And do you know what the reason was for that?
I don't.
Detour? But, and fair to say, since you've been to his residence, it's a gated community?
I don't remember how we got in. I don't remember if it was gated or not.
Okay. And when, but you were there at Suge's residence, and at some point the caravan leaves Suge's residence and then starts heading towards 662.
Correct.
All right. Now, on the moment of the shooting, your testimony is you saw what you believe to be a white, was it a white Cadillac?
Correct.
Now, do you recall giving a statement to police officers that same morning or so that you thought it was either going to be a white or cream-colored Cadillac? You didn't know for sure?
I don't remember what my statement was 30 years ago.
So would a review of your statement help refresh your recollection as to what you told the detective that night?
If you have that available.
Just one moment, please.
Of course.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
May I have leave to wander the courtroom freely?
Sure.
Thank you. Sir, I'm going to show you this statement here. Just read it to yourself, just in that page right there. I'm just telling you you're done. Okay? Does that help your refresh your recollections, what you told police officers that night?
Yeah, it's similar to what I just said earlier.
Yeah. And that is that you said it was a light colored, when the question was asked, what color was it? White, I would say light. I'm not even going to say white. I'm going to say a light colored Cadillac.
Correct.
But once again, it's something that obviously in that sort of scenario would come off as either white or light colored, right?
It's at night.
Yeah. In addition to that, when you observed the driving conduct of Suge in the BMW, he made a U-turn and went back onto Las Vegas Boulevard.
I don't know where he was going. That's where he ended up.
Okay. And so at some point you all stopped because he stops.
Right.
And you get out of your vehicle to render aid to Tupac.
No, it wasn't to render aid. It was to see how he was doing.
Okay. And so when you approach Tupac, at that particular point, he warns you and says, and I'm sorry, I just want to make sure we're down, get on the ground, they're going to shoot you. Mm-hmm. Is that a yes?
Correct.
And that would have been because right behind you were police officers with a shotgun.
Correct.
Now, you're kept at the scene for some time, and we see a picture of you sitting on the ground, right?
Correct.
Do you know how how many other of the caravan vehicles were present at the time that you had stopped at the final location where Tupac was at?
I do not.
Was it the same amount as what you had in the beginning when everyone was going to Suge's residence?
I could not tell you.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, and
Thank
then
you.
redirect Mr. Below.
Nothing for this statement.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are there any questions for this witness? Please raise your hand if you have any. All right, seeing none, thank you so much. Oh, we do have one, sorry. Jumped the gun on that. And the parties approach. All right, Mr. Greenwich, I have a question from one of our jurors for you. Were shots ever fired from your crew toward the attackers?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Any follow-up based on that state?
Anything to say?
Defense.
Your Honor, just for clarification, sir, when we say crew, I'm going to ask you just in general, any of the vehicles in the caravan, do you know if any of those vehicles shot at the vehicle that was the light-colored or white?
I do not know.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Okay, now you're free to go. Thank you so much for being with us, Mr. Greenwich. All right. Steve, who's your next witness?
Jeff Scott.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this section shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated. May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
Jeffrey Scott, Jeffrey-Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Mr. DiGiacomo, whenever you're ready, you may proceed.
Sir, how are you employed?
I'm a senior crime scene analyst with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
What does that mean you do for a living?
I respond to crime scenes and I document them using notes and photography, recover and impound evidence, and write reports based on the notes and the photographs.
I direct your attention to July 17th of 2023. Did you respond to an address at 2204 Mapleshade Street in Henderson, Nevada?
Yes, I did.
And what was the purpose of you responding there?
I was responding there to document a search warrant.
What shift were you working?
Swing shift.
And so, were you the only CSA that worked that scene that night?
I was the only one there when I arrived, but then I was relieved later on by members of the grave shift.
And you've since looked at, have you since looked at all the photographs that were taken that night?
Yes, I have.
And some of them are yours and some of them are theirs, correct?
Yes.
We're going to approach.
You can also wander the courtroom freely, Mr. DiGiacomo.
Thank you. First set I'm going to show you is state's proposed 193 through 107. Just flip through those and see if you can determine are any of those your photographs, or at least do they fairly and accurately depict the location of the search warrant.
Mr. Giacomo, can you clarify for us which numbers you're introducing? You had said 193 to 107.
I'm having them just look at 193 to 107.
So 107 to 193.
No, I'm sorry, 93 to 107.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I didn't realize
That
that.
clerk was very confused.
Most of these are clearly not mine, not the photographs that I took, but a couple of them might be. It's hard to tell.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Is that what the front of the residence looked like?
Yes,
And so it accurately reflects what the front of the residence looks like.
yes.
Move to admit 93, Judge.
Any objection, Mr. Sanft?
No, you're not.
That'll be admitted.
And then the only really other question that I have for you as that relates to 95, do you know if that's yours or the CSA that followed after you?
That's hard to tell.
Okay.
I probably took a similar photograph.
Okay. And same as 94.
That one I'm pretty sure is not mine.
Okay. So I'm just going to move to admit 93 and 95. Well, 93 is in. Move 95 in.
Any objection to 95?
No, Your Honor, and just for the record, I won't object to the admission of the photographs that were taken at that particular scene by either forensic analyst, just to move the process along.
So then the others will be admitted via stipulation. So that would be 94 and then 96 through 107?
Correct.
Okay, those will be admitted via stipulation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem, thank you.
Now, within that garage, showing you 155, there was a Dodge Caravan, Dodge Charger,
Challenger.
Challenger.
Yes.
And does that accurately reflect that Dodge Challenger?
Yes.
Showing you 156, does that accurately reflect an item of evidence that you collected out of that?
Yes, it does.
And then 157 through 159, take a look at those. Is that the 3 sheets of paper that you collected out of that
Yes, they are.
vehicle? Okay. I'll move to admit, I know he doesn't object, but 155 through 159.
Any objection to those?
No objection.
Okay, those will be admitted.
I'm going to go through the photographs with someone else, but you did collect a single piece of evidence before you were relieved. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
I'm showing you what's been previously marked as State's Proposed Exhibit number 138. Take a look at that.
Yes. This is the package in which I impounded those pieces of paper.
And then we've had some discussions of packaging, so I'm not going to go through all that, but that's your seal on the back.
Yes, it is.
And with the exception of the slice that the defense, the clerk, and I put in this, it's in substantially the same or similar condition as when you impounded it.
There's an additional
Is it additional
date,
cutting?
and I think, yeah, it looks like somebody maybe cut the top and then resealed it.
And if I were to tell you that was on 4/23/26, does that look accurate to you?
Yes,
If you open this, you'd expect to find those 3 pieces of paper you photographed, right?
I would.
Showing you what's been marked as 138A. Are those 3 pieces of paper?
Yes.
Move to admit 138 and 138A.
No objection, Your Honor.
So admitted?
Thank you. For the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to show just those last set of pictures of the Dodge Charger the garage. So let's start with 155. Can you tell me what we're looking at here?
That's a photograph from the right rear section of the Dodge Challenger.
Challenger. Sorry, I keep calling it a Charger. Dodge Challenger. And that's parked in the garage area of the residence on Maple Shade.
Yes, it is.
156. That's the location of those 3 pieces of paper you collected?
Yes.
And then 157. And I'll zoom in here. Is that the front page?
Yes, it is.
Without going too much into it, this appears to be a description of an episodic series.
Yes.
158. Oops. Well, generally speaking, page 2 is a ledger that has costs and those type of things.
Yes, page 2 and 3 were was like a budget for the series.
And that's going to lead me just to 159. Appears the total budget was slightly under $1 million.
That's correct.
Thank you, Judge. I have no more questions. I pass the witness.
All right, cross-examination by you, Mr. Sanft.
Thank you. Sir, just real quick, for the order, what's episodic? What does that mean?
Episodic?
Yeah.
To me, it means occurring occasionally or regularly.
And that's what you saw in that first piece of paper, right?
Yes.
And your testimony here today really is that you located that piece of paper and you captured it as part of your experience and training as a crime scene analyst.
The detectives executing the search warrant located it and then had me come photograph it, and then I impounded it.
Okay, and just for the jury so they understand what your role is typically in a search warrant is that you're summoned to the scene to conduct an investigation or at least a search of an area based upon what the detective or primary officer tells you is the intent of the search, but you also do your own search as well. Fair?
It depends on the type of call, on how much direction that I'll be given, or I'll be doing it myself.
And with regard to this particular situation and this specific search, you were apprised prior to the search warrant being executed that this was going to happen on this particular day?
Yes.
And so the meeting that typically takes place where you arrive on a scene where a crime had just been committed, where everyone sort of gathers around, they have a conversation of what they're trying to look for. That meeting took place before the knock on the door and the execution of the search warrant.
Yes.
Now, in this regard, you understood that what you were going to do was walk in to look for certain things of evidentiary value, right?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury what things you were looking for of evidentiary value?
I didn't have a list of items that we were looking for. I just knew that I was there to document whatever was recovered.
And the document that we just saw here, that was something that you did not locate, one of the detectives did in this case.
That's correct.
Now, do you recall who the primary detective was that was responsible for that search warrant?
Detective Mogg.
Cliff Mark.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Were there any other detectives on scene besides Cliff Mark?
There were several, but I don't remember their names.
Right. Now, with regards to what you do as a crime scene analyst, fair to say that you are operating under a search warrant.
Yes.
And a search warrant is a document that allows for law enforcement to go into someone's residence to look around.
That's correct.
And in this particular regard, though, as a crime scene analyst, you're not the one who actually applies for a search warrant, right?
I did not know.
That would be something that would go through, in this case, the primary detective for this particular search.
Yes.
That would have been Detective Watt.
Yes.
Now, in regards to what you were doing in this case, you searched what parts of the house, if you can recall?
I photographed the entire house. I did not search Again, I was there to document what the detectives found in their search.
Okay, and in your training and experience, do you have a, now, sir, your work on this case, when you say you photographed the house, that was prior to the search of each particular room and area, right?
It was after the officers had cleared the residence, and then I came in and I took all my photographs. And then the detectives executed the search warrant and they searched, and then I did follow-up photographs based on what they found.
You did follow photographs.
Yes.
Now, and once again, for the jury, since we weren't there, the photographs you take at the beginning is each room as you find it.
Yes.
And then the photographs that are taken after the search is each room as you find it as well?
I didn't photograph the entire house again. I photographed the items that the detectives located, wanted me to photograph, and then some items I impounded and some items I did not.
Gotcha. And in terms of your photography, was there another crime scene analyst that arrived on scene that took additional pictures outside of the ones that you did?
Yes.
Do you know who that was?
There were 3 members from Graveyard. It was King, Fellabom, and she was Finn at the time, but she's West now.
Okay. And those are the crime scene analysts that would have taken pictures of how each room looked like after the search?
I'm not sure what they did.
Did you take any photographs of any bins of photographs found at the scene?
I don't recall taking photographs of the contents of bins.
Let me just show you here. Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Your Honor, just for the record, it's already been admitted as evidence, and this is State's Exhibit, thank you for the State's Exhibit number 100. I could just publish that for the jury.
You may.
I'm sorry, we're going to start with 99 first. So this is State's Exhibit number 99. Do you recall taking this particular photograph?
No, I do not.
Okay, that would have been another crime scene analyst.
Probably.
All right, and then I'm not going to show you the next one. I'm assuming it's the same thing. Outside of the photographs that we mentioned here, what else did you do in the course and scope of your duties as a crime scene analyst on this particular night?
That was it. I photographed the scene. I took notes. I recovered the one item, which was the 3 pieces of paper, and that was it.
All right, thank you. I have no further questions of the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Any redirect, Mr. DiGiacomo?
Not from the state.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, any questions for this witness? Okay. All right, Mr. Scott, question from one of our jurors. What piece of evidence were you expecting to find in a location that was different from 30 years ago? Why would you expect it to be intact 30 years later?
Could you repeat that?
I can. What piece of evidence were you expecting to find in a location that was different from 30 years ago? Why would you expect it to be intact 30 years later?
Not sure I fully understand the question. I wasn't expecting to find anything. I was just there to respond and document and photograph what the detectives were interested in.
Okay.
And I don't really understand the second part of the question.
Mr. DeJacque, any follow-up?
No.
Mr. Sanft, any follow-up?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Scott. You are free to go. State who's your next witness.
Stevie Phillip.
Stevie. Stevie.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this section shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You may be seated. May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
First name is Stevie, Steavie. Last name is Felabom, Felabom.
Ma'am, how are you employed?
As a senior crime scene analyst with LVMPD.
We just heard from Jeff Scott. Do you have similar qualifications and backgrounds as Mr. Scott?
Yes, sir.
Were you the relief crime scene analyst that responded to 2204 Maple Shade Street in Henderson?
Yes, sir.
And did you document with your own photographs, but also reviewed all of the photographs taken at that crime scene prior to your testimony here today?
Yes.
I'm going to go through some of those photographs here and start with 93. What are we looking at? Oop. Thank you, Jessica. So, not that you'll need it for this one, but that mouse up there can allow you to point. It just don't click it, okay?
Yes, sir.
What is this?
That's going to be the exterior of the residence.
I guess we should go, I'll do 95 first. 95. What does this appear to be?
The northeast master bedroom.
And then 94 is a shot from the opposite direction.
Yes.
Sitting on top of that case over here, there appears to be a container for a bottle of Dom Perignon.
Yes.
96. What are we looking at?
That's going to be the dresser on the opposite side of the same bedroom.
And at the bottom here,
There were several books pulled out when I arrived.
one of them is Compton Street Legend, one of them is Murder Rap, the last one is The Confused Mind of a Drug Dealer.
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
In addition, 097, was there a Vibe magazine?
Yes.
Did you wind up collecting the Compton Street Legend and the Vibe magazine?
Yes, sir.
Now in the garage, 098, there were two bins.
Yes.
And when those bins were opened, 100, oh, I bet you this is 99 first. Try 99. Looked like a number of personal effects that were kept in those.
Yes, sir.
And number 100. The bottom one also had a bunch of personal effects.
Yes.
Do you know what happened to those two containers at the scene?
The detectives recovered them.
So detectives took those two bins and left the scene with them.
Correct.
This is exhibit number 101. What are we looking at here?
That was a jacket in one of the closets.
And on the left, well, I guess we'll zoom in just a little bit. On the left side, it looks like it says Reg 64 trays, and on the right side it says Keffe D.
Yes.
And then if we skip to 103, the back of it says South Side City of Compton.
Yes.
After you collect an item, do you photograph it either at the scene or back at the lab?
Yes.
Showing you 104. What are you looking at?
That's the photograph that I took of the Compton Street Legend book once I had recovered it and taken it back to the lab.
And then 105.
It's the back of the same book.
106.
That's the copy of the Vibe magazine after I recovered it and taken it back to the lab.
And 107.
It's the date and barcode on the cover.
So it looks like the November 96 edition of the Vibe magazine.
Correct.
Oh, ma'am. Previously opened off keys, but let me show you. State's proposed exhibit number 148. Is that your evidence package from that night?
Yes.
And among what else you recovered, would you expect to find both the book and the Vibe magazine inside there had it still been sealed?
Yes.
Well, let me start first with the Vibe magazine. This is State's proposed exhibit number 140. And which is, you recognize the bag on the outside?
Yes.
And what is that?
That's the identifying information that we put on interior packages to include the event number, my P number and initials, the date that it was recovered, and the item number.
And then I'm going to show you now 140A. What is that?
That looks like the Vibe magazine that I recovered.
So that's the actual Vibe magazine that you wound up recovering out of that house.
If it came from that package, yes.
Move to admit 140A.
Any objection?
No objection.
So admitted.
I'm going to show you the outside of this. This is, 139. You recognize that?
Yes, same identifying information, listing it as my item number too.
And then if you pull that item out, what would you expect to find?
The Compton Street Legend book.
Showing it to you. 139A. Does that appear to be the book?
Yes.
And I want to show you, you took pictures of the front and the back.
Correct.
The back has no picture on it, right?
No photograph, no.
Okay, it just has some words.
Yes.
And then if you flip through this entire book, there's no interior pictures in this book. Does that seem accurate?
Yes, sir.
Because I moved in 148, correct?
Any objection?
Oh, I think I did move
They already moved in. Okay, thank you.
I think the rest of this, we've agreed we're not going to move in. So
Understood.
I would pass this.
You may cross.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I have no objection to all of them. Yeah, I don't have an objection.
Ms. Billabong,
Yes, sir.
how long have you been a crime scene analyst?
About 9 years.
And during that time period, these kinds of searches would be standard operating procedure for you?
Consistent with the detectives, yes.
Yeah. And once again, with regard to your training experience, when you are conducting this kind of investigation, you're looking for things of evidentiary value, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, the evidentiary value part, though, is dependent upon what you learn at the scene from the primary officer or the detective that's conducting the search.
Correct.
And so whatever you're doing is within the parameters that they're asking for.
Yes.
Now, in this case, we've seen some pictures of some books and a jacket. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And when you arrived on scene, you were on scene for the later half or the latter half of the search.
Yes.
You weren't there for the beginning part of the search.
No, sir.
So the photographs you took are photographs that were of the areas and the rooms in the house after the search had been conducted.
Yes.
Fair to say, of course, is that each room was in disarray.
The search had already been started, yes, sir.
Yeah, and you don't know what they look like prior to you arriving on scene, but definitely after, there's things strewn around.
Yes, sir.
In your 9 years of experience as a crime scene analyst, when officers are conducting a search, they typically will be as thorough as they can be to look through everything in an area.
Yes.
Do they ever return those things back to how they found it before they entered into say, the room or the house?
I would say it depends on the level to which they've moved everything. If the entire closet's been empty, they don't typically put everything back.
They do not typically put everything back?
Not typically, no, sir.
Okay, so you don't have any photographs that you took after everything was over where the room was put back into place, how these police officers found it?
I have photos immediately before we left the residence after they'd finished searching, but not with everything placed as officers found it.
I see. And so what you were documenting basically was, for lack of a better word, the thoroughness of each police officer's search of each room.
The state that we left it in when we were clearing, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, some of the things that we were shown in this case, did you ever at any point find electronics or were asked to take pictures of electronics at the residence?
I believe the only electronic item I photoed was a laptop in the shed. All of the others were photoed by CSA Scott.
Okay. But as far as you know and what you recall, there were electronics found at the house, like say, I don't know, iPads and laptops, that kind of thing.
Laptops, definitely. I'm not sure what other types.
But you're not the crime scene analyst that would have captured that and put that into evidence?
I didn't recover the laptop itself, no, sir.
Okay. And as far as you know, do you know how many electronics were in the house when you were there?
I don't.
Do you know whose responsibility that would have been?
Whoever was in charge of the search warrant, they had it listed on the return.
Okay. And just for the jury's edification, a return is a document that's left at the house or the area to notify the owner that certain items were taken as a result of the search.
Yes, sir.
So it's almost like a receipt.
Yes.
Okay. And your job really stops with regards to the actual search itself. You don't do anything further when you go back to your office with Metro or anything like that.
Aside from impounding whatever I recover, no, sir.
Okay. And just for our edification, when something's impounded, the concern, of course, is to maintain what's called chain of custody, right? Meaning that if you find something on scene, you want to make sure that that piece of evidence is exactly how it was as you found it at the scene and not molested or changed or anything like that.
Correct.
So sometimes, like in other investigations, you might have gloves on to protect you from transferring DNA or fingerprints onto the actual item of interest.
I'm usually always wearing gloves, but yes, different DNA considerations, depending
So
on that.
when you're telling us that you went back to make sure that certain items were impounded, items that you had taken and put it into an evidence baggie?
Yes, sir.
You took that to the evidence vault?
I would have sealed it, and then we have a temporary hold that's locked, so I would have sealed it with all the identifying information and then placed it in that hold, and an evidence technician would have continued the chain of custody.
And in terms of sealing it, you have a certain tape, color of tape that you would put on the opening of the packaging to indicate that it's been sealed by you.
Yes, sir. Ours is red, and then I sign that with my initials and the date that I'm sealing it.
I see. And then do you put your initials on the actual tape itself or somewhere on the tape side of the?
Across the tape and the package, so if it's moved, it's evident.
Okay. And now, at some point in the future, if someone comes along, they can go into that evidence vault and remove your package out, right?
If they check it out, yes, sir.
And if they were to open it, they would have to open it from some other side of the packaging.
Typically, yes.
And then when they seal it, to return it back to the evidence vault, they would actually put a different type of tape on it to indicate that it came from somewhere else.
I've seen red and blue used, so depending on the circumstance, yes.
Okay. Now, the bins of photographs that we see in the pictures, and I think this is State's Exhibit number 199. Sorry. Showing you what's been marked in already as State's Exhibit number 100. This is one of the photographs you took.
Yes.
Did you rifle through or look through those photographs to see what was in them?
I did not know.
That would have been somebody else's responsibility.
Yes, sir.
You're just there to take a picture of what was in it.
Yes, sir.
Now, showing you what's been marked and admitted as State's Exhibit number 99. Is this the other bin that was in the garage that you took a picture of?
Yes.
Okay. And once again, these are bins that you are directed to by detectives to take pictures of.
Yes.
Okay. Showing you what's been marked and admitted as State's Exhibit number 98. Do you see over here on the top right, these are the two bins over here that we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Do you see this bin over here?
Yes.
Did you ever take a picture of what was inside that bin?
I don't believe so.
Okay. So the what we have in terms of evidence in this case would have been the State's Exhibit number 99 and 100, but not Exhibit number 98.
I'm sorry, what's your question, sir?
Meaning that we have the open bins for, this would be 99 and 100, but not for this particular bin over here.
As far as items recovered, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I'm showing you, if I may approach, Your Honor,
You may.
I'm showing you what's been marked as proposed defense exhibits F through W, UU. If you could just look through those photographs real quick. And just kind of remember it.
Judge, I told Mr. Sanft I'd stipulate the initial F through U.
Okay. Do you want to just have them admitted then at this time?
You might want to still review them.
Okay.
I believe these are a mixture of both mine and CSA Scott's photos
Okay.
from inside the residence, but they're consistent.
All right.
with residents.
And just with regards to the record, this has been admitted by stipulation between the state and the defense, and that would be Defense Exhibit F through Defense Exhibit UU.
They will now be admitted.
It will now be admitted?
Yeah.
Thank you, Honor. All right, and just for our edification, Sean, you just for a couple photographs here, this would be Defense Exhibit G. Here you can see what we're talking about. This would have been a photograph taken after the search of the house.
I believe so, yes.
Defense Exhibit I, as in Isaac, is that another photograph taken after the search of the house?
That appears so, yes.
This is Defense Exhibit J, another photograph taken.
Yes.
Along with that, this is Defense Exhibit K, another photograph.
Yes, sir.
Defense Exhibit L,
Yes.
Defense Exhibit M.
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I have no further questions. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anything further by the state?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, any questions for this witness? Seeing no hands, Ms. Feldbaum, you're free to go. Thank you so much for being with us today. State, who's your next witness?
Justine Gaddis.
All right. Before this witness testifies, you may hear testimony regarding drug trafficking, conspiracy, a prior federal conviction, and gang affiliation. None of this is offered to show propensity to commit a crime, and you may not consider it for that purpose or any other purpose. It is only offered to establish credibility of statements made by defendant and motive and identity. All right, come on up.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this section shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
You may be seated.
Thank you.
May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
Justine, Justine, Gaddis, Gatus.
Thank you. You may proceed, Mr. Duffin.
And how are you employed?
I'm a homicide detective with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
How long you been with Metro?
Coming up on 20 years. I've been in homicide for over 8.
And can you describe how homicide is set up at the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department?
So we have 4 teams that work active calls. Each team has 6 detectives, and each of those 6, basically, we kind of rotate all throughout the entire bay of detectives for who gets the next call in order as it just kind of comes down the line.
Back in 2023, were you assigned to a particular squad?
Yes, I was.
And who was your sergeant?
Back then it was Igor DeCaro.
Is he still your sergeant today?
Yes, he is.
And on your squad, was there a person by the name of Cliff Mogg?
Yes, sir.
And at some point, did you become aware that he was investigating the Tupac Shakur homicide?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to direct your attention to July of 2023. Were you present during the execution of the search warrant at the residence?
Yes, I was.
And while you were present for that search warrant, were there 2 bins located? I'm going to put up Stacy's Exhibit 98. Were there 2 bins located?
Yes, sir.
What happened to those 2 bins?
Those bins were collected and transported to Metro headquarters and ultimately impounded. The bins themselves were ultimately released back.
At Metro headquarters, those bins were searched,
Yes.
certain items were removed,
Yes.
and then those bins were returned.
Correct.
And then who impounded the items that were taken out of that bin?
Detective Mogg.
When did Detective Mogg officially retire from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department?
I want to say it was August. I know it was August of 23, but I think maybe August 12th of 2023.
And sometime after August 12th of 23, in September of 23, did you become aware that this case was indicted by the Clark County Grand Jury?
Yes, sir.
Were you and Sergeant DeCaro assigned a role to assist now investigator Mogg if he needed a peace officer?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to go through just some of those things. But on April 23rd of 2026, did you go to the evidence hall?
Yes, I did.
Who was with you at the evidence hall?
You and Mr. Banu, Igor DeCaro, Mike Sanft, his investigator, Aaron Stanton, and I'm sorry, I don't know your name, his female assistant partner.
Megan?
Yes.
Okay. Was Cliff Mogg there too?
Yes, he was.
And what was the purpose of us all going down to the vault?
To review the evidence that has been impounded for this case.
And were you the peace officer, you and Mr. DeCaro, the peace officers, or Sergeant DeCaro, sorry, the peace officers that were present for purposes of touching the evidence, opening the evidence, reviewing the evidence with the defense and the state?
Yep, and then I resealed the evidence. That's correct.
Show you what's been marked as state's proposed exhibit number 132. Is that the original impound from Detective Mogg that we wound up opening and going through everything in?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go through all these. This one I'm going to do last because there's a lot. Showing you state's proposed exhibit number 135. Was that an item that was in this impound package?
Yes, sir.
Move to admit 135.
Any objection?
No objection.
So admitted.
Showing you what's been marked as state's proposed exhibit 136. Is that an item that was in there?
Yes, sir.
Now, state's proposed 134 is a package. It's a proposed package. Just want you to look through there. For 134A, B, C, and D, all within that package.
Yes, sir.
Move to admit, I guess I should do 134 and A through D so we have the package to keep in there.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
That'll be 134A, B, C, and D.
And one of those items, 134D, is a magazine about Biggie Smalls.
Correct.
There were some miscellaneous items collected, but I think we are all putting in 133, but I don't have a cover for 133. Madam Clerk, is there a cover for 133, or do we just have them separate? Oh, the back. Perfect. Something to keep it in. $133, I think, is technically the bag, but there's a Lakers ticket that's marked.
Yes.
That was in there?
Yes, sir.
133A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and L were all within this package.
Yes, sir.
Move to admit 133 and 133A through L.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
So admitted.
And then lastly, was there this
Photo book, yeah.
photo book 137,
Yes.
and then were there a number of items that were inside this photo book?
Yes, sir.
And the clerk and the defense and I have had these marked as 137A through, I think the last one is U. If you want to briefly flip through those.
Okay.
136 admitted? I believe I offered it.
Jeff?
It's not.
It is not.
I think your acknowledgement was in there.
Yes, sir.
Move to admit 136.
Any objection?
No objection.
So admitted.
All of those were within this, call it scrapbook for lack of a better term.
Yes, sir.
So I want to go through some of these items, and if you could put it on the overhead. Ooh, that's bad. All right. This item 136.
Yes, sir. Actually, I think we should put them here, because otherwise it's just going to slide.
136 is actually what appears to be, well, it says an affidavit and a search warrant
Correct.
from the Compton PD.
Yes, sir.
And it appears that it's dated May 27th of 1997.
Correct.
It appears that it's at 1524 South California Ave in Compton.
Yes, sir.
And on the back, there is a handwritten return.
Yes, sir.
One of the items that was recovered, it says number 4, money due bill for the Monte Carlo Casino.
Yes, sir.
Let's go through the items that were in the scrapbook, and then I just messed up their entire order, so I guess it doesn't matter which order. Let's just show some of the newspaper articles. So, State's Exhibit number 137H.
I'm sorry. You said 137?
137H. Did we?
I don't have that listed as VHS.
Didn't I offer everything 137 and 137A through you?
You listed it, but you didn't
Yes.
ask for it to be admitted.
It'll be admitted at this time.
Thank you.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, perfect. By stipulation.
This appears to be an article about Mr. Shakur's death.
Yes, sir.
.137G. Another one about the death of Mr. Shakur, and this one's actually dated September 19th of 96.
Yes, sir.
.137U. Is another article that was found in there talking about Mr. Knight being kept in jail.
Yes, sir.
.137 appears to be a newspaper article about a bad rap for new artists.
That's correct. .137B, an article about Mr. Shakur being in a fight with the MGM. Yes, sir.
.137C, an article about a death row exec didn't leave, and this is from September 14th of 1996.
Yes, sir.
This one. This is 137D. I don't want to peel it back, but I guess we can peel that back. It appears to be the community mourns, and there's a picture of his death is going to send a strong message to the rap community. It looks like an art industry.
Yes, sir.
And if we, I don't know if I can zoom this in. It appears to be discussing the death of Tupac Shakur.
Correct.
.137E, star rapper Tupac Shakur badly wounded is a newspaper article.
That's correct.
And are you aware that Tupac Shakur died on September 13th?
Yes, sir.
So this appears to be prior to September 13th.
Yes, sir.
.137F. Let me back out just a little bit. There's an article about police raids targeting or sparked by Tupac Shakur's death.
Yes.
And this one actually has a handwritten date that says 9/3 of 96.
10/3 of 96.
I'm sorry, 10/3 of 96.
Yes, sir.
.137I. Well, you can probably read it without me pulling it out. This one is rappers and Muslims gather for peace, and it's dated September 23rd of 1996.
That's correct.
Oh, 137J. There's been an article titled Night related to Suge Knight.
Yes, sir.
Pull it up to see the whole thing. 137K. It's an article entitled 22 Held in Shootings Possible Shakur Payback.
Yes, sir.
As well as another piece of article, Complex Life Comes to an End.
That's correct.
And it's like, it discusses the death of Mr. Shakur on the back.
Yes, sir.
.137L. This appears to be an article about the death of Biggie Smalls.
Yes, sir.
.137A. 37M. This one says, man who fought with Shakur on videotape is released.
Correct.
If we zoom in, it discusses the arrest of Orlando Anderson for a different crime, as well as discussion of retaliation in the neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
$137N. There's an article about gangster rap performer Notorious B.I.G. being slain.
Yes, sir.
$137O. An article about gang ties suspected in villains.
Yes, sir.
$137P. An article from September 16th, 1996, obviously related to Tupac.
Yes, sir.
$137Q. This is about a rap lawyer's contending detective lie.
Yes, sir.
And it starts off with, they seek dismissal of judge's ruling in probation case saying Las Vegas investigator committed perjury about Marion Suge Knight's alleged role in the assault before Tupac Shakur slaying.
Yes, sir.
$137R. This appears to be sort of a combination of both Biggie and Tupac's murder, but bullet-riddled rap is how it's titled.
That's correct.
And then it says, is the rivalry escalating despite so-called truce?
That's correct.
This was originally folded. Just a couple more, detective. 137S. An article entitled Living Dangerously.
Yes, sir.
And it appears, if you look really close at the bottom, this is from People magazine in September 23rd of 1996.
That's correct.
$137T, the last on this one. An article entitled, on March 10th of 1997, No Easy Answers for Violence in Gangsta Rap.
That's correct.
Now, in addition to being the, let's call you impounding officer at the vault on April 23rd, did there come a point in time when you went as a law enforcement officer to California to interview certain individuals?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall the individuals you interviewed?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell me who they were?
We spoke with Yosef Yah, Rashina Smith, Corey Edwards, Roger Williams. I believe there was one more. I can't remember.
Mob James?
Yes.
James McDonald?
Yes, James McDonald. That's who it was.
In addition to that, did you become aware that in this proceeding, well, let me ask you this, as a homicide detective, do you know what a compelling order is?
Yes, I do.
What's a compelling order?
It's basically an order issued by, well, in this example, it's issued by the state of California, compelling witnesses who live there to appear in front of the court.
We have to ask our court to issue some documentation, and then we have to ask their court for a compelling order.
Correct.
Judge, I'd ask you to take judicial notice that you've issued compelling orders for Trayvon Lane, Roger Williams, James McDonald, Corey Edwards, and Fergie Brooks.
Let me make sure I have all those, actually. All right.
There might be a sixth one, actually. Oh, Malcolm Greenwich would be the sixth one.
All right. Corey Edwards, I'll take judicial notice of that one. Roger Williams, I'll take judicial notice of that one. James McDonald. James McDonald. I'll take judicial notice of that one. And then there's another block of them a little later.
Correct. I think Fergie Brooks and Trayvon Lane came a little later.
Trayvon Brooks. I'll take judicial notice of that.
Fergie Brooks.
Sorry, Trayvon Lane. I'll take
Okay, Trayvon
judicial
Lane.
notice of that. And, all right, Fergie Brooks.
And then recently Malcolm Greenwich.
Recently, Malcolm Greenwich. Michael Payne.
What?
Michael Payne.
Malcolm Payne was a transporter.
Okay. Malcolm Greenwich. All right. I'll take judicial notice of that.
Of all six.
Yes. So,
Did you become aware that certain of those six individuals weren't cooperating even though they had been served papers by California?
Yes, sir.
And so did you coordinate with anyone to assist California authorities in locating these individuals?
I did.
Oh, and let me back up. There was also someone in New York that there's a compelling order for, correct?
I'm not sure if the order was served or issued, but yes, I know the individual in New York.
Did you locate someone by the name of Anthony Gomez in New York?
Yes, sir.
And he is currently on probation.
Correct.
And there's an effort to locate what jurisdiction he was in order to get a compelling order.
Yes, sir.
All right. What did you do with the people who weren't cooperative despite the California authorities ordering them to come to Nevada?
We went up on their phones, which means we received orders to where we can ping their phone location to try to identify where they were specifically at.
And for those people, Well, how many pens do you think you did?
I think about 5.
And do you remember which 5 you had to do pens on?
Corey Edwards, Fergie Brooks, Roger Williams,
Was there Malcolm Greeley, John?
yes, Malcolm was, yes. And I can't remember the last one. I know we've already spoke about him though.
Well, no. How about Devontae Lee? Did you have to get one?
Yes,
Now, Devontae Lee was local, so we didn't need a compelling verdict.
correct.
Last Friday, did you coordinate with our local authorities as well as authorities in California in order to effectuate an arrest warrant in California for anyone?
Yes,
And who did you try to effectuate an arrest warrant on?
Corey Edwards.
And was he located at his residence?
No,
Was there any other person associated with Corey that was missing from his residence?
yes, there was.
And who is that?
His mother.
And is your understanding that she is 95 years old and an invalid?
She's in poor health, yes.
On Monday, was there an effort at another location in Compton to effectuate an arrest warrant for Mr. Edwards?
Yes, there was.
And was that successful?
No, sir.
Thank you, Detective. I'll pass the witness.
Thank you.
All right, cross-examination, Mr. Sanft.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing, Detective Gaddis?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, thank you. Thank you for appearing here today.
Yes, sir.
Now, your testimony is based on your work with Clifford Mogg from 2023 on.
Well, I've worked with retired Detective Mogg since 2018.
Okay, so in 2018 to 2023, what did you do in furtherance of this case?
I personally did not do a extensive amount of anything. It was primarily was being investigated by Detective Mogg.
Right. And so from 2018 to 2023, you didn't do anything of real note. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, as a detective with Metro, obviously you have to qualify to become a detective in the homicide division of Metro.
We have a testing process.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where just because I asked to be on the homicide team doesn't mean I'm going to get on the homicide team unless I demonstrate qualifications to get there.
More or less, yes.
Yeah. Now, in terms of your training experience, though, fair to say it starts in the police academy as you're really as a cadet before you become a full-fledged officer?
It's a police recruit, but yes.
Okay. And while you're in the academy, you learn skills that would help you become a successful police officer in our community. One of those things that you learn, of course, is how to write reports.
Yes, sir.
Officers' reports are a crucial tool that you would use in furtherance of your job as a police officer in Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
With regards to police officers' reports, sometimes you don't have to write a report. I would assume, like, for instance, if you pull someone for a traffic ticket and on the citation you could write some notes or something along those lines. That wouldn't require you to do a police report
That's correct.
or officer's report.
Yes.
All right, but in terms of when you're conducting an investigation, fair to say that typically a officer's report would be written?
Typically, yes.
Yes. Now, can you explain to the jury why an officer's report would be important in the furtherance of an investigation?
The officer's report primarily is for our own reflection to recall really all the steps that we took throughout the entirety of an investigation. So it's a document that we can refer back to without going to each and every document specifically.
Now, fair to say, though, that the officer's report also helps in the event that, say, for instance, you get promoted to become a sergeant and someone else takes over your caseload because you're no longer the detective, right?
Yes, sir.
They would look at that officer's report to help them get up to speed as to what your investigation was at the time you get promoted to become sergeant.
Correct.
Or lieutenant.
Yeah.
Or captain.
I'll never see that, but yes.
I'm just hopeful.
Yeah.
Be hopeful. But with regards to your officer's report, for instance, When you are about ready to move on in the next phase of your career, for instance, those officer reports typically are prepared and completed upon your departure to whatever it is you're going to do next.
Most of the time, they try to get those done. Sometimes they're not.
Sure. Now, in terms of sometimes or not, can you tell us when is there an exception to the rule of when you do your officer's report after, say, for instance, when you retire?
Haven't retired yet. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry.
But fair to say, of course, if that in the event of an actual complete departure from the department, meaning you move on in your life and doing something else, that those officers' reports should be completed prior to you departing the department.
I know the department would like them completed, but again, sometimes they're just not.
Yeah.
I've seen many cases where there's still open officers' reports with people who are no longer on.
Sure. And so with regard to those open officers' reports, fair enough, they get created at some point in the future. How about like 1 year after they retire?
I don't know. Are you asking like would they or could they?
Well, have you ever seen an officer's report being filed a year after an officer retires from the department?
Authored by the original investigator? No. It's a lot of times like there'll be either one of the guys from Cold Case that will kind of pick up a case
Right.
and finish that up, and so then that will be completed after the originating officer retired.
Okay, well, what about 2 years after the main officer or detective in this case retires? Have you seen anyone actually, finish up his officer's report 2 years after he retires?
And submit it still as an officer? No.
No. 3 years?
No.
And it's fair to say that there's common sense reasons for that, right? You want to make sure that your report is accurate, right?
Yes.
Because accuracy is important in what you do as a police officer.
Correct.
You want to make sure that your report is written in such a way, like you said before, someone could take that report and continue on with the investigation, who is still a detective.
Yes.
Okay. And also that report, in essence, becomes sort of a documentation of all the effort that that detective puts into the file, right?
Generally most of it, yes.
Yeah.
It might not have everything in it, but there's the vast majority typically goes in the officer's report.
Sure. Now, in this particular case, as you're sitting here right now, you work for the Metropolitan Police Department.
Yes, I do.
You work for the District Attorney's Office?
No, I didn't.
And the reason why you don't work for them is because they're two separate agencies, right?
They are.
They have two different purposes, correct?
Correct.
Your job as a police officer with Metro is to investigate and determine facts, fair?
Yes.
Now, at some point in the future, the District Attorney's Office, their job is to determine if they want to prosecute a case and actually litigate it like in front of this jury, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's not your role. Your role is just to find the facts
And present it to them,
and
yes.
present it to the District Attorney's Office.
Yes.
Okay. Now, they do have investigators that work for them,
Yes, sir.
right? But fair to say, those investigators are not doing what you're doing, right, which is looking for facts.
Well, I object to looking for facts. And one calls for speculation.
What's your response?
I'm just asking for her experience as a detective as to how investigators fit into the overall picture of what we're talking about here. I don't believe it's speculation.
Can you rephrase it? Because I
Sure.
forgot the original question.
So with regards to your role and the experience you've had as a police officer, have you ever seen a Clark County District Attorney investigator be the primary person to put on an investigation?
Like as the lead investigator, no.
Yes, that's correct. So no, the answer is no.
Correct. Not in my experience.
And not in your experience. Now, in terms of what you're doing here, your testimony here was specifically about the search warrant and what happened when you located, whatever it is you located during the course of the search warrant, right?
Yes, sir.
So in the search warrant itself, did you apply for that search warrant?
No, I did not.
Now, typically, as a detective, when you're applying for a search warrant, you fill out an affidavit,
Yes, sir.
and at the end, you sign it, attesting it to be true and correct to the best of your ability.
Yes, sir.
And you detail in that search or that application for a search warrant the location and what you intend on finding as a result of going into somebody's house.
Yes.
Okay. That would be the purview of whoever the lead detective is at that particular time.
Yeah, or who was just writing the search warrant. There's a lot of times people write search warrants and they're not lead detectives, but yes, I agree with what you're saying for the most part.
And in this case, Detective Mogg was the responsible detective to petition for that search warrant.
Yes, he was.
And he was the one who signed that affidavit.
Yes, he was.
Now, you were on scene as a detective to help him with that, with the execution of the search warrant.
Correct.
And it isn't just you and Detective Mogg, there's other people from Metro that's present as well.
Yes, sir.
Other detectives as well.
Yes, sir.
As well as the crime scene analysts that we have on scene.
Yes.
And they're all looking for information.
Correct.
Now, the information that you're looking for is based upon my client's residence, right, Mr. Davis' residence.
For that search warrant, yes.
And you are looking for evidence that would take you back 30 years to whether or not that person was involved in the murder of Tupac Shakur.
Yes.
Okay. So the information that we've received here today is the fruits of your labor from that search warrant.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in addition to that, there were numerous different electronic devices that were taken from the scene.
Yes.
Now, are you aware that one of the intents or one of the focuses of the search was to look for evidence or facts specifically about the writing of a book?
Yes.
Okay, meaning the book that you had shown to the jury, that particular book, there was a search or at least an intent to look for evidence that would help support whether Mr. Davis had a manuscript.
I don't think I reviewed a book up here when I was being shown the evidence. I know the book that you're referring to.
Right, and I'm just showing you, once again, if I could have
Show my version.
I have it. Showing you what's been marked and admitted as State's Exhibit 104, this document or this book right here.
Yes.
Okay, so this book was the one of the focuses of the search.
Yes.
And in the application for the search warrant, fair to say that as a detective, you would read the parameters in which Mr. or Detective Mogg at the time had requested in terms of the purpose of the search.
He would have documented that in there, yes.
Yeah, and for instance, would a review of the application and affidavit of search warrant help refresh your recollection as to what Detective Mogg had requested from a court to allow him to search for?
I actually have not read the full document before.
Oh.
I can review it if you'd like. But yeah, I up to this point have not read the full document.
Okay. So you're saying though that the person that could best tell this jury what he applied for would be Detective Mogg?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, in addition to that, looking at the State's Exhibit number 104, the name that's on top over here, did this name have any significance to you in participating in the search warrant in this case?
Yes.
What significance does this name have to you?
We knew that was Duane Davis's nickname or street name.
Is that correctly spelled?
I don't know.
Yeah, and then with regard to this person right here, do you know who this person was?
Yes, I do know.
Who is that person?
Yosef Yal.
Now, with regard to Yosef Yal, can you tell the jury a little bit about who he is?
He was to my understanding, he's the co-author of the book.
Okay. Now, you had a chance at some point to speak with Mr. Yal.
Yes, sir.
And just for my recollection, do you recall when you spoke to him?
It was on about Memorial Day of this year.
So 2026?
Yes, sir.
Memorial Day. Do you recall when the grand jury occurred with regards to this case?
In 2023.
All right. And so explain a little bit to the jury what a grand jury is.
It's a jury that have been assimilated here at the Clark County Regional Justice Center. They hear cases, then they determine if there is sufficient cause to issue an indictment on the accused.
And typically that would be something, if you were the primary detective, you would have been involved in this particular one, but you did not.
That's correct.
Okay. That would be something that Detective Mogg would be responsible for.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in addition to that, with regards to Yusuf, we had read off a bunch of names the state had, and I want to make sure I'm clear here. Was his name read off as one of the names that they had issued some type of warrant or something for in this case?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay, so you interviewed Yusuf about May of this year. He's on the book cover, but you don't ask the court for a warrant for his arrest in California,
No, I did not.
or some type of notice in California, hey, you need to show up to court.
No, we did not.
Okay. And did you ever at any point go down after your meeting with Yusuf to knock on his door again and say, hey, Yusuf, can you please come to Nevada based upon our interview or discussion?
No, I did not.
Now, in addition to that, when you went down to speak to Yusuf, at that particular time, you're with Clifford Mogg, right?
That's correct.
Now, at that particular point, Clifford Mogg is not a detective at Metro.
Correct.
He had been retired at that point how many years?
2.5, maybe?
Okay. And so you accompanied him down to California to do that interview with Yusuf?
With several people, yes.
Okay. But you're going down as a police officer with the Metropolitan Police Department at that particular point?
Yes.
But not Clifford Mogg. He's not a police officer at that point.
Correct, he was not.
He is an investigator with the Clark County District Attorney's Office.
Yes, sir.
Now, based upon that particular interview, did you conduct that interview?
No, primarily Detective Mogg did, or Investigator Mogg did.
Sure. And after that interview, did you draft an officer's report documenting what you learned in the course of that interview?
No, I did not.
That would be something that Detective Mogg or Mr. Mogg would have done?
Sometimes we don't write an officer's report just for like an interview synopsis. We'll typically get those transcribed.
Okay. Now, in this case, for instance, the officer's report are pretty important, right?
Yes.
And we talked a little bit about going to the evidence locker, and we were all present at the evidence locker, right?
Yes, sir.
It's my assistant, the guilty looking one over there with the glasses, myself, and my investigator as well as Mr. DiGiacomo, Mr. Renew, Clifford Mogg, and yourself.
And my sergeant, Igor DeCaro.
Yeah. Now, after that particular incident, you wrote an officer's report, right?
That one I did, yes.
Right. Once again, it's important to document what happens on a given event.
Correct.
Okay. Now, in this particular regard, did you at any point of your participation in this case, in that submission of that report, ever view a officer's report from Clifford Mogg?
No, I have not reviewed an officer's report from him.
Are you aware that Clifford Mogg began his responsibilities as the main detective on this case in either 2017 or 18?
My understanding, yes, that's correct.
And he had been the investigator from that time period, and we'll just give him the benefit of the doubt, 2018, all the way up to 2023 when he retired.
Correct.
But as of right now, as you sit here, you've never read an officer's report from Detective Mogg in between that time period?
Pertaining to this investigation, no.
No. Now, in addition to that, there was some discussion about people. Was there ever a compelling order or a warrant issued for Suge Knight in this case?
Not to my knowledge, or if there was, I didn't have a role in that.
Right, and fair to say you know exactly where Suge Knight is today.
Yes.
He's actually in custody.
Correct.
Okay. Did you ever at any point issue a compelling order or a warrant for Foxy Brown?
I did not.
Okay. You know who she is?
I don't.
Okay. That would have been something that maybe Mr. Mogg would know of.
Yes.
Okay. How about for an individual named Big Meech from Detroit?
I don't know who that is.
Once again,
I have not issued a yes.
So
And the
that-
same answer that Detective Mogg would be, he would have more knowledge on that.
Now, the articles that we took a look at here that the jury was introduced to, do you know any reason, besides the fact that they were taken from my client's house, do you know who put those articles together?
I do not.
Do you know the purpose of those articles?
I do not.
Okay. Now, fair to say, in the course and scope of your investigation as a detective now, one of the things that you would look for if you were looking at a suspect would be through their phone.
In today's age, yes.
Yeah. And one of the things you look for either on their phone or on their computers would be maybe search history.
Yes.
And what you're looking for is if a person is Googling an address and Googling up a shooting that took place on the corner of Charleston and, I don't know, Wallaby, and they're doing it over and over again, that would lend some issue as to why you're looking up the details of a shooting that, say, nobody knows, right?
Yes.
And that would help you determine whether that person has knowledge of a shooting that pretty much nobody else would know.
I can't say nobody else would know, but they would show that they do have knowledge of the incident occurring.
Right. Now, in terms of those articles, though, can you say that that's what that was for?
I cannot.
Now, in addition to that, in your experience, we had spoken a little bit about this folder here. I'm going to show you again for the jury. This is State's Exhibit 37. Oh, I'm sorry, thank you. 137. Do you remember this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I just want to make sure I'm not colorblind, but is this blue?
No, sir.
Yeah. There looks like there might be like a candy cane on top of it,
That's correct.
and something else that's there. It looks like a little snowman or something like that. Do you know what the purpose of this folder was?
No, other than it being just like a scrapbook type.
But nothing else besides that?
I don't know any other relevance to that.
Okay, and just for the record, it's got green in here as well. It looks like a pretty festive notebook or
Yes.
folder.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in your one of the things that you had shared with us as well is the search warrant in this case that was found on scene. This would have been this would be State's Exhibit 136. You recall looking at this particular document here?
Yes, I do.
In terms of this document, this is a document that looks like this occurred back in May of 1997.
Correct.
And this obviously was in a different state. This is California.
Yes, sir.
And this was a search warrant of what looks like to be a house that would have been attributed to my client.
I'm not sure who it is, who resided there then. I know the address is there, the California.
Yeah, it would be the California address that's on the next page, right? I just don't want to mention it. But let's turn to the last page here. One of the things that was made mention by the state, and just pointing the jury to the receipt of property taken, that's like our property return,
Yes.
or search warrant return. Okay.
That's correct.
And in it, it identifies various different things that was taken from that particular residence.
Yes, sir.
Now, one of the things that's in here, for instance, is this line number 4, money due bill for the Monte Carlo Casino. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have that?
No, I do not.
Was there any copy of that in the house that you searched in 2023?
Not that we found.
And with regards to that particular description there, can you tell us, for instance, just by the description alone, when that money due bill was dated?
I don't know from that description. We just know when the search warrant was issued, so I would assume previous to that
Right.
issue date.
Right, but we don't know an exact date.
Correct.
And the other things that are on here, for instance, the 9 miscellaneous photographs, all these things are things that another detective wrote down in the course and scope of their investigation.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in addition to that, when you were in Mr. Davis's home, you had identified, or there were various different electronic devices that were seized.
Yes.
Okay. Now, with regard to those electronic devices, there were quite a few.
Yes.
Those electronic devices, and I just want to make sure I'm clear here, you had taken a Dell Inspiron 1764 laptop computer.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever at any point cause that computer to be reviewed for information that would help you lead to whether or not Mr. Davis wrote that book or helped write that book?
I did not.
Okay. And just for the jury's edification, let's make sure we're clear. When you're reviewing an electronic device like that, you are looking for files, search history, things that would help you see whether or not Mr. Davis used that particular machine to help write the book, for instance, in this case.
In theory, yes, somebody would do that.
Right. And you also took from the residence a Toshiba laptop computer.
Yes.
Did you find any information that would help you know or learn whether or not Mr. Davis actually wrote Compton Street Legend or anything like that?
I did not write a search warrant to get into the digital items, so I've never reviewed anything from the electronics.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm clear. That would have been Clifford Mog's job, not your job.
Yes,
Because at the time, he was the detective responsible for this investigation.
correct.
Now, but I just want to make sure we're clear for the jury. The other items that were seized at that point that you were at least part of the seizure would have been a Toshiba satellite laptop computer. So that's 3 computers. Another laptop computer, 8 HP G171 laptop computer, an HP touchscreen desktop computer, an iPad, another iPad, and a Sky device tablet. Those were the things that were taken from the residence, right?
That sounds accurate, yes.
And just stop me if you think I'm wrong, if you need to look at something, all right?
Okay.
In addition to that, it looks like there was some drives that were taken as well, a Toshiba external drive, a USB drive, and an iPad with a broken screen, and an iPhone in a black case.
Yes.
Okay. And those were all the fruits of your search of Mr. Davis's residence when you went there?
Yes, sir.
And once again, whatever was found inside of those objects would be something that would be Detective Mog's responsibility to tell this jury, not you.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Detective Gaddis, I'm done with my cross-examination of you.
Okay.
I appreciate your answers today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanft. Mr. Jackman will redraft.
Detective Gaddis, Mr. Sanft said we're 2 separate agencies. That's accurate, correct?
Yes, sir.
How often, let me ask you this, do you work very closely with the DA's office?
Yes, sir, we do.
What is the soonest you've called the DA after you've shown up to a crime scene?
Oh, within an hour, absolutely.
And are we, as the prosecutors, involved in the investigation from the beginning?
Yes, sir.
Or were you aware that prior to the search warrant, or are you aware if prior to the search warrant, Mr. Palal and I were already involved in this investigation?
Yes, you were.
And were you aware the determination or the decision that was made as it relates to Mr. Detective Mogg, remaining the investigator on this case?
I don't know how those decisions were made.
Let me ask it this way. Are you aware that that decision was made the day he retires?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And your role and Sergeant DeCaro's role is if we needed a Metro police officer, you were supposed to assist.
Correct.
And do you have any active cases where the reports are not done?
Yes, sir.
And usually the report is done when all of the work is done.
Correct.
And so that's completed when you're done investigating.
Correct.
Mr. Sanft also mentioned something about the fact that your job is to find the facts. Do you remember him saying something like that?
Yes.
Is your job and our job any different than that we're here to uncover facts?
We have the same mission. Do it in different ways, but yes, the same mission.
And are you aware that my investigators oftentimes interview witnesses?
Yes.
And that's not something that's unusual.
No.
Is there anything that you feel was improper with the idea of Detective Mogg becoming my contract investigator on this particular case?
Objection, Your Honor, is the opinion. I'm not quite clear what the relevance of that question is.
Well, his entire cross was, hey, this is really odd, this is really unusual, there's something wrong here by Detective Mogg becoming Mr. Mogg and continuing the investigation. So I'm asking her, in her experience, is there anything inappropriate about that?
I don't know how her experience is relevant. Yep.
He opened the door by asking her those questions.
Overruled.
I would say Detective Mob would have been the best fit to do it because he had the most intelligence and knowledge of the investigation.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Anything further, Mr. Sanft?
Yes, Your Honor. Since we're walking through this door, so with regards to Detective Mogg in this case, he was the best fit for this investigation?
He had the most knowledge of it, yes.
He had the most knowledge of it because he did not write an officer's report. Fair?
Objection assumes a fact, not an evidence.
Can you approach? All right, it's overruled. You may ask your question.
And I just forgot the question, so let me back it up real quick here. So you're telling us, though, that he was the best for the job?
Yes.
Okay. And that at the time of his retirement, 2023, he was the best for the job?
He had the most knowledge of it, yes.
Yes, and he had the most knowledge of it because he was the primary detective on the case?
For the preceding several years, yes.
Yes. And when he retired, he did not have an officer's report?
I don't know if he did or didn't.
Well, I'm just based upon your knowledge, you're saying you don't know?
Yeah, I know. I've never actually read it. I don't know if he did.
So you don't know if he had an officer's report?
Correct.
And you say he was the best for the case, even though technically there were other detectives on your unit that could have taken over that case?
There are additional detectives, absolutely, yes.
And are you saying that somehow Detective Mogg had something different compared to all the other detectives that could have taken over that case from the homicide division?
Well, I say that about Detective Mogg because he had those 4 or 5 years of experience already invested into the case. So for him to kind of finish it out and to see it through, to me that made the most sense, in my opinion.
But without capturing it, putting it down on an officer's report?
Well, objection. She just answered she doesn't know if there is one.
Let me ask you this question. I'll withdraw the question. In terms of, as you sit here right now, there was a cold case unit, right?
Yes, we do. We have a cold case.
The cold case unit would investigate crimes that occurred, like say, for instance, in this case, 30 years ago?
Yes, they do.
And they could have very easily taken this file as well, right?
So from my understanding, when Detective Mogg obtained this case, we did not have a cold case unit in our section at that time. That didn't come into play until maybe 2020 that we were able to fulfill a cold case detectives.
Okay. And so in terms of the way you're describing it, are you saying that Detective Mogg was operating a cold case?
No. He was on an active squad for the entirety of his time in the homicide section. But when he received this case from the preceding detectives, we didn't have a cold case unit for them to have investigated it. So basically, any of the cold cases came down to the next person in line, more or less, and that happened to be Detective Mogg.